right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for braving the weather. My name is Charity Chandra Jefferson, and I would like to welcome everyone to the second annual State of the County Forum. Our theme this year is Reimagining Prince William County. Now, to reimagine is to reinterpret or rethink. It's to form a new idea, thought, or process. It's about looking at what is in front of us and shaping it into a new identity. And that is why we are here. Prince William is a growing community, a vibrant community. How do we continue to advance our strategic goals and remain a community of choice? Tonight, you will hear from county staff and key stakeholders. My ask is that you listen to each of them intently, reflect on what's being heard, and be ready to give us feedback. My team and I are going to be planning listening sessions later this year to hear from you. How would you like to reimagine Prince William County? And let's go beyond live, work, and play. How do we thrive as a community? Before I begin, I would like to recognize the following elected officials who are joining us today. We have Congressman Don Beyer, Congressman James Walkinshaw, my colleagues on the Board of County Supervisors, Victor Angry, Andrea Bailey, Tom Gordy, George Stewart. We have Commonwealth Attorney Amy Ashworth. We have School Board Chair Dr. Barbara Lateef. We have School Board Member Tracy Blake. School Board Member Jen Wall. School Board Member Lori Williams. Manassas City Mayor Michelle Davis Younger. Girl, why are you all the way up there? We also have our CXO, Chris Shorter, and the executive management team. We have Superintendent Dr. Latanya McDade. And I believe that I got everyone. If not, please speak or forever hold your peace. So with that, I would like to actually first call Congressman Don Beyer up here to share a few words with us. Thank you, Congressman.
Just want to know who the designated survivor is. They hit this building with a bomb. It would be a tragedy for Prince William. Thank you for welcoming a prodigal son from Alexandria. I get to come because it's been many years since I represented Prince William County. And if this referendum passes on April 21, I will have the opportunity to perhaps represent much of Prince William. So I'm trying to dive deep because I'm really looking forward to a new wonderful challenge and to trying to be the best congressman I can be for you, possibly. I'm privileged that one of my good friends is James Walkinshaw, who was born and raised here. So I will have somebody telling me the right things to do and say. I do want to note that I'm leading two of the principal pieces of legislation on the Hill right now on data centers. Specifically to make sure that they're environmentally sound, that we take a look deeply at what it's doing to our electricity needs, our energy needs, and our water needs. And I don't come to this as a data center absolute opponent, because on the other hand, I also realize that so much of the money that we need to fund, the highest starting school teacher salaries in the Commonwealth or universal pre-K by 2030 is going to have to come from an expanding tax database. So we have to find the right mix. I'm also working really hard on what that can be. I founded and chaired the Fusion Caucus on the Hill, and we're actually getting meaningful breakthroughs throughout the country on fusion energy, which is the opposite of 3 Mile Island. This is two hydrogen atoms making a helium atom. Just last week, Helion in Seattle created fusion of 2 hydrogen atoms at 150 million degrees centigrade. We're building the first ever fusion power plant in human history outside Chesterfield County this year. And what we hope is in the near future, like 4 or 5 years away, we don't have to worry about where the energy is coming from, because when we look at affordability, we can drive energy costs down for every citizen in Virginia. And then the other thing I'm really excited about is when we take back the House next year, James and I and Eugene Vindman are going to be able to bring lots of earmark money back to Prince William County, which will be fun to do. And James and I will be looking forward to look to you first about what money do you need for what projects, so that we're bringing to the Appropriations Committee the ways to make the biggest difference. So thank you for your friendship. I'm looking forward to lots of partnership with you in the years to come. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to welcome Prince William County native, Congressman James Walkinshaw. I have to say that.
Well, thank you, Chair Jefferson, and it's great to be home. I'm excited to be with you all, and I want to start just by thanking all of the incredible public servants who are here, my friends on the Prince William Board of County Supervisors, and I know a lot of folks get that name wrong, Board of County Supervisors, school board members, Mayor Younger, Commonwealth's Attorney, Ashworth County Executive, and all of the county leaders and staff who are here. You know, I spent almost 6 years on the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. I spent 6 months in Congress. I can promise you I had a lot more fun in those 6 years than I've had in the last 6 months. But the work that you do, it's interesting. You know, I spent 6 years on the Board of Supervisors. You know, you somewhat are toiling in obscurity in local government. People don't necessarily notice what you're doing until they don't like something you're doing. But the work that I did there and the work that you all do more directly impacts people's lives, quite frankly, than the work that Don and I do each and every day. And I just want to thank you for it, and all of the community members who are here to help and support that work. I'm really excited about the future of Prince William County. As Chair Jefferson said, I'm a native. My family moved here in 1986. My father built, for the most part with his own hands and a little bit of my small hands, our home in the Gainesville district that stands to this day. I'm a graduate of Unity Reed High School, formerly Stonewall Jackson High School, and I am so impressed by the progress that Prince William has made. And although I've been in Fairfax for the last 15 years, I've worked closely with you all on the VRE board and other regional organizations, because we really are one region. And so many of our challenges are shared. And, you know, I'll just talk about one specifically, and Don and I spend a lot of our time on Capitol Hill fighting for and defending our federal workers and federal workforce. And in Fairfax County, we have about 80,000 folks who are federal workers, but I know here in Prince William County, there are at least 30,000 folks who are directly employed by the federal government, and many tens of thousands more who work for federal contractors alongside those federal employees. And it has been a hard year for those folks, with the job losses, the policy changes, the DOGE impacts, and coming together as a region and as communities to help our neighbors weather that storm is critically important right now. Don and I are going to continue doing our part in Congress. We recently formed together a new federal workforce caucus, so that moving forward, any administration that attempts to attack federal workers or come for the rights of federal workers will have to come through us. Another issue that is critical for all of us in the region, including Prince William County, is infrastructure. And I was so proud. One of the favorite things I did on the Board of Supervisors was serve on the VRE Operations Board with Tom and Andrea and others. And Prince William County has tremendous opportunity with the growth and expansion of VRE as we transition from being a 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday commuter rail line to a round-the-clock full-service line where not too long from now, hopefully soon, you'll be able to take VRE downtown to see the cherry blossoms, or more importantly, folks who live downtown will be able to take VRE out here to Prince William County and see everything that Prince William County has to offer. And as Don said, if I'm given the opportunity to represent Prince William County, partnering with you all on those infrastructure improvements will be a top priority for me. So I just want to thank Chair Jefferson for bringing us all together, all of you for the work that you do, and I look forward to continuing to partner with you. Thank you.
And I would now like to invite our school board chair, Dr. Lateef, for a few remarks.
Thank you, Chair Jefferson. I'm so thrilled to be here. I had a chance to speak at this last year at the first State of the County address, and now that we're doing a second one, I'm even more thrilled. Anytime we have a chance to showcase the great county we have, the great place we are, the great schools we have, I am thrilled to be a part of that. And so I want to thank Chair Jefferson again for putting this together. Chair DeShandra Jefferson and honorable members of the Board of County Supervisors, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. On behalf of our Prince William County Public Schools, I begin my time with gratitude. The great teacher Cicero once said, "Gratitude is the mother of all emotions." And that feels especially appropriate today, because what this board and the school board have built in Prince William County is grounded in a shared commitment to our community and to our children. Thank you for your continued support of Prince William County Schools. I want to thank you for recognizing that public education is not simply a line item in the budget, but a long-term investment in strength, stability, and prosperity within each of your representative districts and our entire community. Because where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. And in Prince William County, our shared investments make clear where our heart is with children, with their future, and with long-term vitality of this community. It has made all the difference in distinguishing us as a destination for living, working, and raising families. It is because of this heart, because of our partnership, PWCS has been able to improve graduation rates, expand academic opportunities, strengthen student and family support, and innovate in ways that simply would not have been possible without a sturdy and collaborative financial foundation. I want to acknowledge, and I really want to acknowledge tonight, the strong leadership of Superintendent Dr. Latanya McDade. Please stand, Dr. McDade, one more time. She and her team, have remained focused on student outcomes, staff accountability, and classroom innovation. At the same time, we have a school board that is collaborative and unified around one central goal: our children's success. Our school board unanimously passed our new strategic plan, Elevate 2030, and it builds on the momentum your partnership helped us create. One of our most historic commitments is universal pre-K. PWCS is committed to a clear pre-K to kindergarten pathway that develops early numeracy and builds literacy grounded in the science of reading. The research is unequivocal. Students who attend high-quality preschools are less likely to fail courses, less likely to be chronically absent, and more likely to thrive academically over time. In fact, students who attend universal pre-K are more likely to enroll in advanced placement and international baccalaureate courses in high school and graduate on time. We want every 4-year-old in Prince William County to have access to high-quality early learning. That is one of the most powerful investments we can make because early learning shapes lifelong success. Elevate 2030 prepares students for college, careers, and the workforce by expanding dual enrollment, career and tech ed, and investing in immersive technologies and strengthening 9th grade success programs. But academic preparation alone is not enough. Our strategic plan focuses on the whole child. We are expanding access to school psychologists and student support services. We are opening 3 school-based health clinics and introducing a mobile health clinic to bring medical, dental, and vision services directly to students and families. When students are healthy, physically and emotionally, they are better prepared to learn. We're investing in those who make learning possible by launching a principal residency program, expanding our international teacher program, and providing mental health support for staff. Supporting educators leads to student success. Families are vital partners in education. Elevate 2030 supports them through improved onboarding for newcomers, including military and immigrant families, and workforce readiness programs where students and families can earn skills together. Informed families help students succeed. We are dedicated to upgrading technology, using data more effectively, and implementing secure AI tools that help teachers customize learning and identify student early needs. These improvements enable educators to better support all of our students. Elevate 2030 reflects who we are as a community and who we aspire to be. We are ambitious, yes. However, with our heart in the right place and a collective vision, these achievements are possible because this county prioritizes collaboration rather than division. Let me say that again. This county prioritizes collaboration rather than division and invests, let's give it a round of applause for that, and invest in long-term solutions instead of short-term approaches. On behalf of the Prince William County School Board, I want to thank you for your continued commitment to our students and to our shared future. Together, we are building a stronger Prince William County, and together we will elevate every student, every school, and every future. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much. We have our first panel, and that is Reimagining Community Safety. I would like to start at the end, and everyone say your name, what department you are with.
I'm Dr. Tahiti Yassin, and I'm the Director of the Office of Community Safety.
All right, good evening, everyone. I can't see any of you, but I'm pretty sure you can see me. I'm Pete Newsham. I'm the Chief of Police here in Prince William County.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Madron, the Executive Director of Community Services.
And good evening, I'm Tom LaBelle, Fire Chief for Prince William County Fire Rescue System.
All right, thank you, everyone. So public safety agencies are often judged by how well they respond, but the biggest opportunities may be in preventing emergencies in the first place. That's a tall order. How can police, fire, schools, public health, and community organizations work together to identify risks and intervene before they become 911 calls?
So if I can go. So for us, it's really taking a look at the community in totality, and your question is dead on. The reality is every time you hear a fire engine or an ambulance going down the road, we failed. Some other thing was supposed to work to protect our residents, and it didn't. And we should be the refuge of last resort. But that doesn't mean we give up on getting ahead of the curve. And so if you're able to stop by some of our booths, the Emergency Management Office is part of the fire department. We had our fire prevention team out there. It's really about focusing on what the actual problems are in our community and then trying to get ahead of the curve. Unfortunately, we had a double fatality fire several months ago, and we went right out in that community and we started handing out smoke alarms to make sure. I literally was knocking on the door across the street of where the fatal fire had occurred, and when the young man opened his door, I could hear the batteries chirping that were dying on there because they didn't know how to change them.
Oh, wow.
And so obviously we changed the batteries for them. And so really starting to take a look at what are the struggles our community is seeing, and then how do we get ahead of that curve. And also not assuming for our community that the experience many of us had growing up with fire prevention is the same that all of our residents have had. We have a wonderfully diverse community, and that means their education has been different, and we can't take that for granted. And so this last year, taking a hard look at data such as car registrations and where people had mobility issues, taking a look at housing density issues, we started to do what we call pop-up campaigns. And so we go out into the community based on walkability and provide fire and injury prevention in those communities. And then the last piece I just love to talk about, and that's our work with the schools. Obviously, we get to engage with second, third, and fourth graders. We have a reading program with them, but we also have, through the grace of the school board, a wonderful high school program where we teach juniors and seniors, EMT and Firefighter 1 and Firefighter 2. We've hired directly out of high school, I think probably 11 at this point. I appreciate it, but to be clear, they did all the work. But more importantly for those children, what we tell them is it's important that they understand how we work. But secondarily, we would love for them to come work at the best fire department in America.
Yes.
But if they want to go work someplace else, we'll get them hired there. Like, we will do everything in our power to help them achieve that dream of being a public servant.
I love that. Thank you. Who wants to jump in?
I'll pick up from that.
With community services, I think we really rely on our partnerships and our connecting with our community. One thing that you may notice, the robust crisis system that we now have, and that started at the state level with even federal level with 988 that came in to divert calls from 911. But we got together with law enforcement and public safety communications to really develop a structure of how to refer the lower need calls that maybe needed community supports, and to 988 and our regional crisis call center rather than continuing them at 911. We also we're hearing from our partners at law enforcement as well as fire and rescue and some of the schools about some of the individuals that needed assistance. They weren't in crisis yet, but they needed something. They needed somebody to help them get connected. And we started our Marcus Alert outreach program to really help connect with folks. We take referrals directly from those partners. And our prevention and wellness programs have just provided a number of preventative initiatives through education and training. We've provided over 7,000 students the education around fentanyl use for a partnership that we had with the Bar Association. We've partnered with the community in providing education through media campaigns, really hearing what the needs are. We partnered with the police over the roads and gambling and prevention areas, things that needed attention. And really these partnerships leading and facilitating coalitions, prevention coalitions on substance abuse in the community around opiates. It's because we're hearing what the needs are, we're hearing what the problems are, and we're looking at the root causes and what can we do and what can we bring in our community. And offering walk-ins, whether it's through our crisis receiving center or it's through community services same-day access program, to really look at what can we do to get people connected to services before it becomes an emergency or a crisis.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, so I can talk about two things come to mind when we talk about collaboration leading to prevention. And the first one comes to mind specifically because of the events of this past weekend in the Middle East. It's very unsettling, I'm sure, for folks to know that our country is involved in a military action overseas. The likelihood of, Iran being able to militarily attack the United States is slim to none. But what happens when we have these military actions abroad is that you can have homegrown folks that are involved in very dangerous activity in our community. So the program where we need collaboration from our entire community is the See Something, Say Something program. And now, more than ever, we saw what just recently happened in Austin, Texas. There's a belief right now, preliminarily, that may have been terrorist related. So it can happen here in the United States. And so the way that I describe the See Something, Say Something program on the police department, all told with our sworn and our civilian staff, we have about 1,000 sets of eyes. If we include all of the folks that work in Prince William County, I think that ratchets it up to about 6,000 or so eyes. But if we need the 500,000 or so eyes in Prince William County to be out there looking for things that make them uncomfortable, or if they see something particularly now that is scary, please, if you see something, say something, let law enforcement know. And we'd be more than happy to come out and take a look. You know, one of the examples that I will use as an analogy, the See Something, Say Something program that the schools have has been phenomenal in identifying threats to our schools. And this happens on an ongoing and regular basis, where the schools will share information they have on their See Something, Say Something app. The police officers will get involved. Most of the time, 99% of the time, it's a child who was doing something they shouldn't have been done. The parents allow us to come in and do a quick search of the home. And if discipline is necessary, that occurs. But it's a phenomenal program, and so I wanted to talk about that. The other program I wanted to talk about where collaboration leads to prevention is through our school resource officers. I want to thank Dr. Lateef, Dr. McDade, and the school board members who have allowed that program to thrive here in Prince William County. I can't underestimate the value of that program. One of the things the program provides, obviously, is the relationship between the young people in our community and law enforcement. And that relationship that we have with our community is amazing. It's remarkable. It's tremendous. It's wonderful. I can't say enough good things about it. And I think that starts in the schools. But the other piece where our school resource officers play a role is, you know, we talk about how trust is the foundation of policing. You have to have trust within your community. If these kids get to know the school resource officer and they trust them, they tell them things that they otherwise would not tell them, and we can deal with issues outside of the school. Just as an example, the walkouts that we recently have, and of course we want our young people to be able to exercise their First Amendment rights, but the reason that we knew so much about the walkouts when they were going to occur was because of the relationship that our school resource officers had with the kids at the school. So those are two of the programs where collaboration leads to prevention.
So with the Office of Community Safety, our focus is on intervention and prevention. And we know that crisis doesn't start at the point of that 911 call, right? It's the weeks, the months, maybe even years before that call. And if we're serious about investing in systems to identify risk early, then we need to be thinking about how do we get upstream. And so one of the examples for us is with the Domestic Violence Fatality Review. So it is essentially bringing together Commonwealth Attorney's Office, law enforcement, fire, anyone that's had a touch point with that fatality, and doing a mapping of the system and figuring out where did we go wrong, where are the broken points? What does that mean? Where did the system and where did coordination break down? And once we do that, we're able to identify ways to begin to develop better coordination systems.
All right, Chief, you should have touched on this, but I want to talk about coordination and shared responsibility. How are our police, fire, behavioral health, community safety partners, and others working together, and what structures have helped make coordination possible?
So, you know, I heard somebody say it earlier tonight, but collaboration is the way we roll here in Prince William County. So we're always trying to work with our partners, our other directors. And one of the programs where it's been incredibly successful is our co-responder program. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's where a clinician and a police officer work together, and they will go to scenes where people are in crisis. And then they're able to, if it's a serious incident and potentially dangerous, the police officer will take the lead. If it's a less dangerous situation, then the clinician will take the lead. And the overall goal of that is to ensure that the person who is in crisis is able to get the resources and the treatment that they deserve. You know, the way that we've created that is to work very closely with our partners to make sure that we can make that happen. And just to give folks some sense as to how often these folks go out. Last year, they responded to over 1,000 calls for people in crisis. They had to serve 150 emergency custody orders. And that's actually just one portion of their job, because a big piece of what they do is following up with the folks afterwards. People in crisis oftentimes are in crisis because they aren't continuing down their plan of treatment. And when they're not continuing down that plan of treatment, then crisis can occur. So the folks, the co-responder unit, what they do is they continuously are following up with these folks to make sure that we have less situations where people are in crisis here in the county. And actually, when you compare last year to the year before, we did actually have a little bit of a dip. So our sense is that it may be working.
Adjust this a little bit. Sorry for the feedback. Does anyone else want to share any examples?
Well, just to pick up on that, I think there were 72% in 2025 diverted from custody because of the co-responder program. It really is an effective program in getting people that are really persons in crisis that connected to services sooner. And I have to mention the Crisis Receiving Center Complex, which really is served over 600 people to date. October 28th, we opened the adult through our partners Connections, that is the vendor for the Crisis Receiving Center. And December 1st, we opened youth, and walk-ins started in January. And this has really been a place that people can walk in, can get connected to resources, and may not need to stay, or may need to stay less than 23 hours, or if they need to stay longer, they can. And we've purposely co-located community services so that individuals that were leaving there could be a warm handoff or a connection should they need ongoing services. This has really helped with police and being able to get police who used to stay with individuals for days and days back on the streets. We also have partnered with Fire and Rescue around our leave behind bags. And those are times when individuals have overdosed, and Fire and Rescue's gone out. We've provided the leave behind bag that provides resources, harm reduction, education, connection to information, and naloxone, which helps to reverse an opiate overdose. So these are really efforts where we're trying to intervene and get folks connected with services.
So one of the more promising collaborations that I'm excited about is with the Prince William Health District and the Greater Prince William Health Coalition. So we were really, at the beginning, focusing on how we could partner around data sharing and also data collection around safety and violence prevention. One of the things we partnered on was the community health assessment, which is a survey that goes out to all of the residents in Prince William County to gather data. And we're now collaborating on the CHIP, which is the Community Health Improvement Plan. And so really we were excited about that collaboration because it allows us to embed safety and violence prevention within the public health framework, which, what does that change? It allows us to create more programming and initiatives that really take that public health approach to violence intervention and prevention.
Programs. The first one I want to start off with is a little focus, and it's actually with the police department. I hate to say it when he's in the room, but Chief Newsham is probably the best police chief in America. It's hard for me to say. No, he really is, and so the collaboration between our folks and his folks when it comes to violence in the community, I think has been outstanding. I like to joke, if you can't tell, I like to joke that fire departments are like marriages. You don't know if you're in a good one until you get to your second one. This is my third fire department. And so I've been here a little over 2 years. Thank you. Been here over here a little 2 years, and very early on we got together and started talking about how can we continue to improve the response to acts of violence. And what I will tell you is through clear direction from the police chief, from myself, but really from the work of folks that are back behind those lights, when unfortunately there are acts of violence in our community, you will see the police officers and the fire officers together at the command post. We do command training together. We are unified in protecting this community in a way that's not true in all communities. And so the second thing that a lot of people don't know about our fire rescue system is we're a system, and we're really blessed to have some amazing volunteers. And so we've started to go down this road of a community cares program. It's really based on the Colorado Springs model, and it takes a look at sort of this idea that a lot of times when people are calling us, it's actually not us they need, right? They're looking for some other resource within our community. The interesting thing is, particularly for public servants, and a lot of folks in the room are public servants, you want to serve, right? And so what happens is you want to serve in the way that you were made to serve. And so our folks get frustrated because we're not the right servants. And the other public servants who want to be helpful aren't going to help those people because they're calling us. And so we started about 1.5 years ago, a pilot project on community cares where we started to take a look at high utilizers in our community, start to work with some of our partners, not just here on the dais, but also area office for the aging, health department, a myriad of organizations to start figuring out how we track what services are needed and that they're being utilized. And I'm really excited to, I'm gonna point out a couple of other people, Dr. Yassine and Luke McBride, I think is somewhere. Those two are volunteers with our Buck Hall Volunteer Fire Department. And when people wonder about what our volunteers do, not do they only ride on apparatus. Buck Hall teaches CPR, they teach Stop the Bleed. They are an amazing resource and partner in our community. And so starting to take a look at what we can do beyond response with all of these community partners is a real focus for the fire department now.
I appreciate this. I know we're coming on time, so quickly, how do residents stay informed and get involved? I'll start with you, Chief.
Oh, okay. For us, we're just getting ready to unleash our community dashboards that take a look at response times, how busy units are, where they're going. Obviously, our website, our social media. I realize any social media I'm on is automatically uncool, but the social media in general. And then obviously we have community pop-ups, our public education events, and so we'd love to see you come on out. If you ever want to tour a fire station, let us know. And we'll absolutely, particularly if you have young children, we'll get a picture of you in the fire engine and you can lord that over them for a very long time.
And older people too. I love getting on the fire trucks.
For community services, it's definitely our website. Our wellness and prevention team lists activities and events in the community, know the risks for suicide prevention, ACEs training, fentanyl training, naloxone, revive training. All of these activities that are frequently in the community are listed on our website under the wellness and prevention, as well as our programs.
Well, you can always call us. Call 911. We will come if you call. But, I do say this, though. One of the things that I require of the folks that work at the agency, and this is one of the things actually that they love to do, is that they respond. And so you can call us, you can email us. We have a huge social media presence. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out to community meetings and people will ask, well, what do you guys do out in the community? And I could go around the calendar and talk about, the Santa Cops, Coffee with a Cop, National Night Out, Trunk or Treat, Community Fair, the things that we do throughout the year. But the other things that you don't see, and you'll see if you follow us on social media, like, for example, this morning, I think it's Read Across America. So we were out there reading with the kids at the school, but there's something going on every single day with our police where we're engaging with our community. And the only way you can see it is if you follow us on social media. So please follow us. We have a huge following, but if you're not following us, please follow us. You will get to see all the great stuff we do with the community engagement, but it's also a resource, gives a lot of information about how to prevent yourself from being the victim of a crime. And also, if something is happening in our community, we will alert you.
Definitely get in contact with us through our website. We are going to be out in community over the next year. really using a data-informed approach to do pop-ups in neighborhoods and with community, doing CPR, AED, Stop the Bleed, and also matter of balance training. We have a symposium coming up this week on human trafficking, and we also have our second annual Community Safety Innovations Symposium happening in May. So definitely reach out.
All right, let's give them a warm round of applause. Thank you. All right, we are now on to our second panel, Reimagining Workforce Development and Career Pathways. If we could start and make sure that everyone introduce yourself and where you're from.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Steve Partridge. I'm with Northern Virginia Community College.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Clarice Grove, Prince William Economic Development and Tourism.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Martin. I'm the Director of Career and Technical Education for Prince William County Public Schools.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. Each of you represent different parts of workforce development, employers, education, career navigation. Can you briefly describe your role, who you serve, and how your work fits into the larger workforce talent continuum?
Sure. So NOVA plays an interesting role. We've served both 80,000 credit and non-credit students across the region, but we also serve the employers. Employers come to us all the time asking, we need a pipeline of workers. And it's an easy thing to say we can solve every problem, but we really want to make sure when our students graduate, there are jobs waiting for them. So we actually have a whole team that spends nothing but every day of the week looking at job posting data, making sure our programs align with jobs. So when we see things like AI start to pop up, are our programs AI proof? Are they really leading to jobs? Are there enough jobs for the students that are entering that pipeline? So we're always realigning that and making sure our programs meet those needs.
So Prince William Economic Development, we're really here to support the existing and the new businesses here in Prince William County. So our role is really to be boots on the ground, meeting with our businesses consistently to make sure that we're hearing what their needs are as far as anticipating that talent pipeline, really understanding their vacancies, what type of training for upskilling opportunities that they have. We pride ourselves on being a convener, so working with our partners here and really collaborating to make sure that any type of feedback that we're getting from current existing businesses or prospective companies, that we're sharing that with our partners to help that pipeline.
Right, and in the K-12 space, we really look to our workforce development partners and economic development partners to make sure that our CTE programs are what are relevant to our existing, but also looking forward to what is coming up. We serve over 90,000 students in career and technical education. It's roughly around 20,000 so juniors and seniors in the high school setting, but truly we are looking for those partnerships and programs where our students can start in the K-12 space, transition to post-secondary education, and then go into the workforce.
All right, so when we talk about workforce as a continuum, where do we see these connections working well between, our schools, economic development, Northern Virginia Community College, and what are opportunities for career pathways?
So I'll take that one, thank you. Actually, Prince William County is really in a great space because we do work very closely already with our post-secondary education partners as well as our workforce development and economic development folks. We offer in the K-12 space, again, we have 16 of the 17 career clusters offered in Prince William County Public Schools, over 43 career pathways, and then 140 different courses in the secondary space. So our partnership is strong. Always room for growth, but as we are moving in this new space together, we have those people in place.
I think the landscape to attract new companies and grow companies is a lot more about workforce development. And companies have gotten smarter. You used to be able to just have a company say, I'm looking at your area, and you could say, oh yeah, we have the people here. Mm-hmm. And they'd sort of believe you. They know more about our communities than we do often. And so what we have to do is really go deeper in the pipeline to show companies that where that future workforce will come from, which means a very close relationship. And you're seeing this already with dual enrollment. We have 20,000 dual enrollment students across Northern Virginia, which they're taking college level classes while in high school. It's saving families money. It's getting them ready for college earlier. But the one thing I think we could work on more is the career prep. A lot of our students still come to Nova and they say, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. And I'm sure there's a lot in the audience here that say, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. But college is no longer as cheap as it once was. And so going to college and exploring is no longer a cheap option for a lot of families. So we need to do more earlier. And I think the K-12 with Nova and others can really help get that awareness up. I know my kids, all of them, going through high school, had to sit every night and talk about like, so what jobs do you like? And they hated it. But I think by the time they got to college, they really started to think more about the job as the end result, as opposed to it's just an experience going through college and I'll figure it out when I'm done. Because that's what career services often does. You wait till your senior year, your last semester, and all these students show up saying, I guess I have to have a job. And we now need to push that lower because the jobs are changing faster. It's no longer that one degree will hold you even 10 years. We get people coming back with a bachelor's to Nova all the time saying, I got this degree and no one will hire me. Can I get a cybersecurity credential? Can I get an AI credential? So we need to embed these skills and make them stackable so that students, as they come out of Nova, as they come out of K-12, really have a good baseline understanding of what the job market is like in Northern Virginia and what it's going to take to be successful not only tomorrow, but 5 or 10 years later.
And it's interesting, you kind of talk about, what do you want to be when you grow up, and, this whole theme about reimagining workforce. I think for the Department of Economic Development and Tourism, we really took the last year to kind of reimagine our role in workforce development. As an economic developer, you attract businesses, you help businesses to stay here, but to dive a little bit deeper into workforce development, it's really kind of thinking from that lens of residents, of not just what I want to do when I grow up, but what's available for me here in Prince William County, options in DC, Arlington, Fairfax County, in a time when there's some uncertainty, what can Prince William County do for me as far as a career pathway? So really for economic development, kind of shifting that lens of, how do we educate current residents about the opportunities here? What type of training opportunities can they take advantage of to find high quality jobs here at home?
I remember during the pandemic, Prince William County was a national leader. You offered the Elevate program, which is a way to get local residents who are maybe facing job transition some short-term credentials.
Yep.
And so that was a pivotal program that I think inspired a lot of local communities to say, hey, we should start doing that. Because really, I think locally, companies know who they need to work with to grow their company. And it's usually the people in this room. And having a community with resources to direct them, whether it's the students or the parents, to say, hey, there are jobs in demand that you may not know about. Because let's face it, how many in this room know all the jobs that are at a hospital? Come on, if there is someone raise their hand, I can't see it. Most people think there's doctors and there's nurses, but there's hundreds of other jobs that pay often just as much, but people don't know about them. Same with, we'll say data centers. You can get out of a one-year program at Northern Virginia Community College a certificate that would get you a $60,000 job to work in a data center. And that's appealing to a lot of young people who don't know what they want to do, and they say, 4 years is a long time. Maybe I just want to go to work, and what can I do quickly to get something to get myself in the job market? So we all need to be ambassadors of what the local job market needs are, so we can share them with our community members.
Right, and if I could just piggyback off that a little bit. In our space, we offer those career study certificates that align with Northern Virginia Community College. And as Steve mentioned, it's expensive, right? Post-secondary education is expensive. So we offer these programs, these dual enrollment courses, free for students and families at no cost. And so just to speak to one that you mentioned was the data center. So we are beginning to offer next year our mechatronics program, where students will take 2 courses with Prince William County Public Schools while at the same time earning 15 college credits. So that's a lot of savings for the parents. It's also, in that program, there are some summer opportunities for internships for those students. And so they're getting out and learning and meeting those business partners that are gonna hire them. So it is while you're still in high school, it's that low risk, because you still have those support systems that help you, along the way. And then you partner over with Northern Virginia Community College with those still same support systems. So it was mentioned in the last panel, you have that warm send-off, right? The warm handshake, moving on to that secondary and post-secondary education space.
And Dr. Martin, I just want to ask you, because I know you also have an LPN program that's open not just to high school students,
Yes.
but adults in the community. Are there any other programs like that, or do you want to tell us a little bit about the LPN program?
Oh, I'd love to share that nursing program with you. We do offer it starting in the senior year in high school, so our students take licensed practical nursing 1 and 2 in their senior year. And then you can come back, I call it year 13, another 9 months later, you take your second, or it's the second part of the program, it's actually the 3rd year where you do all your clinicals. So not only is that open to our high school students, but also we have availability to our adult students as well. So it's about half and half, where half adults come in, they pay a very low tuition. We are the least expensive amount of all of our licensed practical nursing programs in the county and beyond. And those students, I'm very proud to say we have 100% pass rate on the NCLEX exam, so those students go straight into workforce. Yeah. Thank you.
That is amazing. Now, looking ahead, how do we better align our government offerings to address current workforce gaps and future needs?
Well, as I mentioned, career awareness is a big piece of it. But I also think we need employers more engaged in the work-based learning. A lot of our students, I think a generation ago, about 70% of high school graduates had some sort of work experience before they go off to post-secondary. Now it's less than 50%. So when you're thinking about it, 50% of students leave high school, pick a degree, and then go into work never having tried it out first. So we really need businesses to open their doors. If we're going to expand the clinical opportunities, we need hospitals and other healthcare operations to open clinical opportunities. We need people to get out there and share these. And it doesn't have to be an 8-week paid internship. It can be open your door to the K-12 to show students what it's like in a day of work. What's it like to work in a cybersecurity environment? What's it like to work in a hospital? A lot of students don't have these opportunities, and it's not that dinner conversation that happens because the parents may not be from that sector and then they don't know how to describe it. So if you want to set the stage for success, get your businesses engaged and make sure every Prince William County School graduate has that opportunity.
And I add to that as well. When you talk about engaging the existing business community, I think you kind of think about our strategic plan currently and the emphasis on education. And it's really, there's people out here, there's businesses out here that are passionate about educating our youth and kind of having this curiosity to understand not just an applicant on a piece of paper for an internship or a job opportunity. It's really understanding their professional pathway. So for instance, we had a business retention visit recently with a company, and we learned so much from how when they take internship programs, you kind of have it on a, for a specific position, but then as that intern gets into the role, you realize that they have a curiosity in other areas. And so you'd be surprised that some of our businesses are flexible to kind of help these young students kind of understand their pathway of, okay, maybe you started your internship in this position, but you're curious in this area. How can we get you to where you want to go so that you have that pathway? And so it's really encouraging knowing that our businesses have that flexibility to kind of adapt and mold around that. But it's really making sure that we identify those companies that have the resources and the infrastructure to kind of mentor and develop. And then how do we get those companies connected to those students?
Under the VTOP program in the Commonwealth for small businesses to pay some of the stipends for interns. So there should be no reason why you're not doing more of them. So if you need help, reach out to any of us.
Right. And to build on that, in Prince William County Public Schools, we have when you mention hospitals, do you know all the different occupations within a hospital setting? Same true with the school division, right? We're our own mini city. We have our foods, we have technology, we have transportation, we have management, we have human resources. So all of those departments, we are very fortunate that we have such great support from our leadership team in Prince William that we are offering internships to our students to intern within our own organization so that they can learn, again, in that low-risk environment where they have that trusted adult who they may know through either their school or or interactions with our leadership team, but we are offering internships to our students so that we're growing our own pipeline internally as well. We're connecting those with our career and tech ed courses. So for instance, Virginia Teachers for Tomorrow, we, again, a career studies certificate program where students take 2 classes with us and they leave with 14 college credits towards their career studies certificate and education. But those students are actually interning and being mentored by our own teachers in elementary and middle school settings. We have our facilities department. We have a turf grass management program, our landscape management program, electricity and plumbing. Those students are being offered in interns at in our facilities department to learn more opportunities there. So not only are we trying to grow our own, but we're trying to keep our own here too as well. So.
All right, and how can residents stay informed and involved?
Visit our website. We've also on nvcc.edu. We have a whole labor market analytics page. So if you want to see what the jobs are in your region, there's a map. You can scroll over and see what the high demand jobs in your area. We've got career ladders you can look at. So if you want to share them with your family members, it really talks about if you leave high school, what are the jobs you qualify for, what with an associate degree, a bachelor's degree, and even higher than that, and what they make locally, and it's updated every year.
Awesome. And for residents looking to see what's happening in the Department of Economic Development and Tourism, we do encourage not only businesses but residents as well follow us on social media, but also follow our newsletter for recent announcements, incentives that we are pursuing with our business community.
And before we get to schools, I just have to say, we also have a community resources page for people who were laid off, furloughed from the federal government that has great information with career training, entrepreneurship, or other opportunities. So I had to mention that. Schools?
Yes, so we just launched our new website today, and it's absolutely beautiful and very user-friendly. You can go into our career and technical education page. We list the top 100 professions in the high demand career fields on our CTE page, as well as our work-based learning. So as Steve mentioned, any opportunities, if you want to become a partner with Prince William County Public Schools, I am here to sign you up. We would love to have you open your doors to our students because, again, as Steve said, and I'm going to make this one ploy, that when Steve mentioned when companies want to come to the state of Virginia and they look for their pipeline, they not only look for what is currently there, but what is in the pipeline to get us there. So education equals workforce development, which equals economic development. And that's what we sell for the state of Virginia. We work in a fabulous Commonwealth. We offer phenomenal programs for students and for families. And it does start with our K-12 system because that's where we start to build those pipelines. And yes, do we need to reach a little further down? We sure do. But that's what our goal is, and we can't do it without our partners. We have an advisory council, and if you're interested in wanting to learn more about that, that again is on our website, our Career and Tech Ed website at pwcs.edu/CTE. And you can learn all about our programs and our partnerships, and you will see Northern Virginia Community College, you will see our economic and workforce development folks because they all sit on our council as well.
Remiss if I didn't introduce Dr. Richmond Hill, the provost of our Woodbridge campus that's in the third row there.
Either you have really good vision or you planned that. So thank you.
Just planted.
It's like, thank you so very much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to have everyone begin by stating your name and what department do you represent. I'll start with you, Seth.
Thank you, Chair Jefferson. I'm Seth Hendler-Voss. I'm honored to serve as your director of the wonderful Department of Parks and Recreation.
Good evening. I'm Tanya Washington, Director of the Planning Office. Good evening, I'm Kevin Costello. I'm with Economic Development and Tourism, and I run the tourism office.
Good evening. I'm Joni Duckett, and I am the Director of the Office of Housing.
All right, we have a great panel here. I want to start with big picture quality of life. When you think about living well in Prince William County, what does that really mean, and how do your departments work together to make life better for residents?
Okay.
I'll start.
Are you going to
start?
Yeah, I'm going to start. Thank you. So living well in Prince William County, I believe is about opportunities. I believe it's about connections. I believe it's about stability and ensuring that our residents have the resources that they need for every stage of their life. And I think that we are doing that in Prince William County. And for the Office of Housing, it's about providing safe, stable, and affordable housing. And we do that through all of our amazing programs that we offer. Just for a few of them, our Housing Choice Voucher Program, where we provide assistance to our residents so that they will not be rent burdened. We assist them with housing payments and provide that roof over their head. We have a self-sufficiency program that provides the participants in the Housing Choice Voucher Program so that they one day too may be self-sufficient. And they have opportunities for educational opportunities, employment opportunities. We have a very well-kept secret of a transitional housing program in Prince William County, where we provide housing for families with children that come right out of a homeless shelter and can be a participant in the program for 2 years, getting case management, employment opportunities, financial and educational opportunities. And we have a neighborhood housing rehabilitation program. That program provides rehabilitation to ensure that our properties here in the county are safe, health, and we correct those issues of safety and health and energy efficient. And that helps our residents to also be able to age in place. It helps for those households who have family members with disabilities to be able to, for us to be able to assist and provide ADA compliant requirements in their homes. We just started a new program for our nonprofits that have affordable rental units so that we can do rehabilitation on those to serve better the clients that they serve here, providing them with a safe and healthy place to live. It also, those are our most vulnerable, the nonprofits that they provide the housing for is for those with serious mental illness, for those with developmental disabilities. And so we have a lot of programs. Our newest program, if we can have a drum roll, because if you know, you know, is our affordable dwelling unit program. We have a new division within the Office of Housing, our Affordable Dwelling Unit Division, and we thank our Board of County Supervisors talking about reimagining and having new initiatives. We did it, and they did it. So we have the newly adopted Affordable Dwelling Unit Ordinance that will help to provide new development and affordable housing for both rental and for sale units here in the county. And then from that, we got our Affordable Housing Fund, which will provide gap financing to our amazing developers who will also develop and provide affordable housing. So that's how we're reimagining the mission.
Well, I'm a little biased, but living well, I think, means that you have a world-class park system, and we're lucky to have that here in Prince William County. We have a huge system. We span the Bull Run Mountains all the way to the basically the tidal basin, almost to the ocean, and everything in between. We have about 70 parks and facilities, historic sites, 60 miles of trail. We have something for everybody here, and I define living well as having easy access to services, and also having opportunity to pursue things that matter to us and to our families. And I as a Parks and Recreation professional, when I first started getting into the profession, our work was described as providing a service, but I see that as much more in Parks and Recreation here in Prince William County. We have the philosophy that we provide experiences and we provide opportunities for folks to achieve their goals. And we see parks as a transformative force where not only folks can go and take in some fresh air and improve their minds and their bodies, but also where they can socialize, where we can break social divides, and where folks can have the opportunities to push themselves to achieve heights that they never knew that they could achieve. We're also the largest employer of youth in Prince William County, our park system, and so it's a great opportunity for young folks to come and learn what it means to hold a job and to be accountable to an employer, and to learn customer service, which is a great life skill. And in terms of how we collaborate to make sure that living well is a philosophy that just transcends all departments, I'll point to the No Wrong Door initiative, which is something the county's been working on for a long time. And what the No Wrong Door initiative means is that we believe that no matter what door a resident or a customer walks through, that it's the right door, that it might not be the exact door they were looking for, but they're going to get an excellent and high quality experience, and that it doesn't really matter whether they were looking for Parks Recreation, whether they're looking for social service or housing. We're going to make sure that person gets connected to the right agency, and then that person is respected and welcomed and embraced. I see that in life, a lot of folks, they have so many burdens on their shoulders just from living life and from family issues. And I see government as a place where folks can feel like they have a support system, that government, local government in specific, isn't just another burden on their shoulders, but it's a place where they feel like someone is in their corner. And so I think, to me, that sort of summarizes the No Wrong Door, that we're here to help you out and help you figure out what it is you need and get you in the right spot. And the No Wrong Door initiative also, in terms of how it's playing out live, is we had some trainings called the poverty simulation trainings. Many of you in this room probably attended. And that was a great way for all agencies, all of us up here, and most of the agencies across the whole organization, to learn what it's like to walk in the shoes of someone who is basically living on the margins. And so we can understand some of the struggles that they go through when they're trying to attain their services. And we're using that as an opportunity to build empathy and start conversations for how we can make sure that we, like I said earlier, are being mindful of those experiences, and we're trying to help folks navigate the process seamlessly. And I'll end by just stating, in terms of the work that I'm doing with my quadrant, so Parks and Recreation, we're in the health, wellness, environmental sustainability quadrant that includes housing and social services and community services and libraries, et cetera, to name a few. And we created our own strategic plan, and that was a way to make sure that we are sort of walking that talk of making sure that we're coordinating and we're making sure that our services are overlapping, because we're serving a lot of the same folks. So we're using that strategic plan as a way to try to bring new ideas and initiatives to the table. And just a couple examples off the cuff. Our department, we're working with the Office of Youth Services to put together some teen programs, talk about community safety and preventative safety. We want to get teens off the streets and in a safe place where they can socialize and recreate and learn good habits. We're working with the Office of Community Safety and the Gang Reduction Intervention Task Force to develop a mentorship, internship program for youth who can come and shadow our park rangers and get exposed to a career in public safety and ranger work, so that they can learn good life skills. And we're also partnering with the Area Agency on Aging, another quadrant partner, to provide recreation services for the aging population beyond the walls of recreation, bringing those services to where that population is residing and where they're getting their services from the aging department.
So with regard
regards to the planning office and the work that we do, it's really about how do we help to support the county in building great communities. So Living Well shows up in a lot of different ways in our work. What we do really brings together all of these departments in helping to create housing that's affordable at all price points for all needs for our residents, having access to great park spaces and other open spaces, having access to jobs, amenities like great restaurants or businesses, or doctor's offices, the types of things that people need to support their life so that they can live well. That is the work that we do. And we do that through two kind of fundamental ways. One is through reviewing development proposals that come to the county, and we lead that charge working with multiple agencies to help determine whether or not this proposed development is going to be a benefit to the county. Will it help to address different priorities that our county has, such as we need more housing, we need housing that people can afford? Will there be great places where people can hang out? Will there be services that they can access through this development? The other piece, though, is we take a much longer view with regards to creating communities. It's not just the immediate proposals that come to the county that we ultimately go to the board and the board decides on, but we do what we call in our field long-range planning. And what that means as a planner is we actually look decades, 5, 10, 15, 20 years into the future and work with community members, work with our agency partners, work with the board to help develop visions for how this county will grow and change in the future. And what are some of the different amenities, priorities that we will need, not just in one particular part of the county, but throughout the entire county. One thing I wanted to note, so we have a blueprint for this, which we call the county's comprehensive plan. It's on the planning office's website. It is approved by the board, and it includes quality of life values. And I want to highlight what these values are. There's 7 values. It's accessible community, community collaboration, cultural and environmental stewardship, economic prosperity, inclusive community, housing opportunities, and healthy community. If you look at all of those categories, it touches every facet of Prince William County government, but it also touches every facet of our residents' lives. And so our comprehensive plan guides not only what will future private development be in the future, it also guides what parks will come in the future, what police stations, fire stations, other types of infrastructure. There's a whole transportation chapter. So it's really a blueprint that helps to drive everything that the county does in terms of making its own investments in serving the community as well as guiding development that comes to the county. And so we really see our roles as helping to work with our county agencies and with the board to create these visions. But the other important piece of it is that there is very much a role for community members. And we have not only our comprehensive plan, we also have what we call small area plans. Those are basically like a comprehensive plan, but for your particular community. And it's an opportunity to do a deep dive into one particular community in a county and to look at who lives there, who's coming, what are their needs, what do they like, what's missing, and we could create tailored policies and strategies and actions that address that particular community's needs. And we're doing that now. We just launched a small area plan for the Vint Hill corridor in a Brentsville district. We just got board initiation for our next small area plan for Fetler Park in a Potomac district, and we will soon be launching a small area plan for Yorkshire in the Coles district. And each one of those small area plans will not look the same because every community in a county has their own different needs. And so this is a great way for us to work with the community to come up with this longer term vision that will reflect what you need and what the county can do to support that.
All right, Kevin.
So living well means a little bit different for what we do from a tourism perspective, right? So our primary customer is a visitor, so somebody that lives outside a 50-mile radius from Prince William County, and our role is to bring more people who stay longer and spend more money in our community to help the tourism economy and our businesses. So living well is more of a marketing strategy for us because great communities, great special events, great parks, assets, great roadways, very safe communities, all are living well for the people who live here, but it's also something that visitors are interested in going and being a part of, right? So all of the hard work that everybody else does makes it easier for us to do our work, which is to market the community as a destination for visitors to come and experience all of that quality of life. So it's a little bit different from our perspective.
But you still know where a lot of the hot places to go and things to do, right?
I do.
So let's get into that. When we talk about third places, spots that aren't home or work, where people can relax, connect, feel part of the community. What is the community doing to create more of those spaces? And for Kevin, can you name a few hotspots?
Well, from a tourism perspective, the most visited attractions, we have a company that we work with called Placer AI. And if you don't know it, they are tracking your cell phones if you have not opted out from all of the apps that are on your cell phone. And it knows where you sleep at night because you leave your phone next to your bed most likely, and it stays there for 8 hours. So that's your home location for your phone and probably for you. And so Placer geofences the county. It geofences all of our attractions, restaurants, shops, and tracks people's comings and goings, right? So we know where people are going in Prince William County who don't live here. Well, we don't know who they are, but we know where they go and what the traffic counts are for these different attractions. And so for us, believe it or not, we're a retail shopping destination, which is not very common for most destinations. We still see 10 million people through Potomac Mills annually. About 1 million of those are from that outside that 50-mile radius. So 1 million visitors each year to come and shop in Prince William County, which helps our tax base. It might not be considered everybody's hotspot. I know my teenager daughter does feel that way, but it is a big driver for us. Jiffy Lube Live, and this year they're going to have about 46 concerts, so one of their bigger seasons ever, is a huge driver for us from that 50-mile radius out, which is a hot spot. And then also our outdoor recreation amenities, the Park Service, so Manassas Battlefield and the Prince William National Forest, those recreational amenities and our own park system and our historic preservation system within the park system are drivers to the destination. And then now with the addition of the Tempo Hotel at Nova Live, it is an all-inclusive, upscale property that we have not had before. So the new hotel, a Tempo Hotel, is a boutique property. It's going to change the dynamic of our opportunity to go after higher end and higher valued visitors to the community.
All right, anyone else?
I wanted to talk about, if you think about how do you define a third place, and it's essentially, it's not your home, it's not where you work or maybe where you go to school, but it's another place where you feel comfortable hanging out, essentially. You may use it to do work that's not in your workplace or at home, or maybe to do your homework if you're a student, but it's really a place where you feel comfortable and where you feel welcome to just go there and hang out. And that could be a park. It could be, just this weekend, I was at Stonebridge, and it was a great day. And, they have the big plaza area, and there's lots of families and people about. That is a third place. There are restaurants that have, I won't name them, but, places that have spaces where people can go to not just, eat with their family and friends, but their book club can meet there, or some other type of club can meet there. It might be a space in a library where somebody wants to go to another group can meet there or do their homework or what have you. And it's really about how can we be intentional when we are getting development proposals, when the county is looking for opportunities or businesses to come here, where we're doing this longer term planning with communities. How can we identify what those needs are? And how can we make sure that the projects that we're getting and the longer term facilities planning, the amenities planning that we're doing will actually provide those needs? And again, it's not going to look the same, and it doesn't have to look the same. But I think the important piece of it is intentionality. And these third places usually are places that are attractive, that you would want to go, that you feel comfortable bringing your family or going with your friends or going by yourself. But it also has to be an inclusive and welcoming space You could create a place where people can gather, but it's not necessarily a welcoming and inclusive space for everybody. And the best third places are ones where everybody, no matter who they are, where they come from, their background, anybody feels comfortable going there. To me, those are the most successful third places. And at least what I've observed just as a planner is those are places that have kind of flexibility in how you can use the spaces, but also where you can go there, you're welcome, and frankly, people will leave you alone. As long as, as long as you're not disturbing other people, you could go there and hang out and do whatever you're doing, as long as you're not hurting anybody else or creating a nuisance for anybody else. And those types of places, people pick up on that. They hear about it from their friends, from their colleagues, from their family members, and that just attracts more people. And so we want to have more spaces like that in Prince William County. And it's very much something that, again, all of our departments, multiple departments play a role in that. But again, this is not a county where people sleep here and they leave to go to their job somewhere else. We want this to be a place where people sleep here, they work here, they play here, they hang out here, they spend their money here.
Yes.
This is a 24-hour or maybe 18 hours, so you can make sure you have some time to sleep. A place where people feel like, I want to stay in Prince William County. Where do I want to go to today? I have some free time. Where can I go hang out? Maybe it's at Two Silos. Maybe it's at this really great park nearby. Maybe it's a marina, it's a golf course, it's a restaurant, it's a whatever. And how could we have more places like that in Prince William County? So I can tell you for the planning office, when we have development applicants in front of us saying, we want to propose X, Y, and Z, we are looking for those opportunities. We're asking them, where can you include this in your projects? I know there are supervisors, when you all meet with them, you ask them those same questions, because we're looking at not only how can this proposal provide for the basic needs for the county, how can this be an asset to this county? How can it provide even more needs that maybe you weren't even thinking about that we could leverage? How could we design it so it actually is welcoming to every resident, not just residents at a certain income level or residents who look a certain way, but this is welcoming to every resident. And so that is something, like I said, we are very intentional about, because those places don't really happen by accident. You really need to be intentional about it. You could create the physical space, but if it's not welcoming, people will pick up on that. And so that will defeat the purpose. So all of those pieces have to work together for successful third places.
Yes, you can.
So we're in the business of creating third spaces, and actually public parks, American public parks in particular, were the original third spaces in the United States. They were really an experiment to create a location where folks of all economic backgrounds, racial identities can come and share the same experience at no cost, side by side, and sort of live in that sort of utopian unity for those few moments that they were visiting. And that role really hasn't changed in our industry. So in terms of my role and our role in third spaces today, we're doing two things. Number one, we're creating new third spaces, as I mentioned, and we're also trying to take existing spaces and activate them to transform them into those true third spaces that we know they could be, such as Connaughton Plaza. The Fridays at 5 event was an initiative to try to create that third space on a Friday night once a month between the spring and the fall, and we're seeing a lot of other events at Connaughton Plaza now as well, and so that momentum is moving. We're also looking at trying to take existing third spaces, such as our Neabsco Boardwalk, which has become a huge gathering hub, and we're trying to make sure it's activated around basically around the calendar. So during the winter months, we created the Holiday Walk of Lights, and that was a way to create that third space activation during a time of the year when folks maybe weren't as apt to venture out into nature because of the weather. Another couple third spaces that we're actually developing right now include the future Neabsco District Park. It's going to be an adventure park as part of the Quartz District. So that's intended to be a gathering hub for the county with a source of recreation experiences that are sort of higher risk and more dynamic than what we offer in other places. Rollins Ford Park and that playground has become a third space. It's voted the best playground in Prince William County in 2025. And we're going to be opening up a splash pad at Cat Harpin Park this spring. It's going to be another third space. It's going to be absolutely free. Folks can just come on out there with the families and enjoy the experience.
So I don't have third spaces, but I'm working really hard to get that first space, and that's to get people to live in Prince William County through the provision of housing for them, and so that's what we're working on.
That's kind of
And then that will roll over into the third spaces.
So, looking ahead, what's one upcoming project that you're most excited about, Tanya? You cannot say the restaurant that we were talking about earlier. Is anyone in planning still here? All right, I like how you kind of meekly put that hand up. All right, inside joke. All right, so we'll start with you, Joan. One thing that you're really excited about coming up.
Excited about all of our programs, but I'm especially excited about our affordable dwelling unit ordinance and our affordable housing fund. I know Mr. Johnson's in here. I know any other time I'd be able to see him, but I can't tonight. And see, he and I both are kind of nerdy because everybody has a bucket list, and usually it's like jumping off of a cliff or skydiving or whatever. Our bucket list was to see this through, and we can mark it off. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, I actually have three because I have three consultant-led projects that we're working on right now, and one is the agribusiness and agritourism study, and we're seeing some really cool ideas come out of that project that will be public real soon, so I'm excited about that. The Maritime study, so we have about 36 to 37 miles, river miles in Prince William County, and we're doing a little research with a consultant there to talk about outdoor recreation amenities and economic development opportunities. And then I had a kickoff call today with our consultant for the Tourism Master Plan, which is a look at the county for the next 10 years and how we would be, developing new tourism attractions and new markets for us to explore. So all of those are really kind of exciting projects for me.
All right, Director Washington.
So I will mention a project that may not sound very exciting by the name. It's called the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance Update. But it's actually really, really important because, I talked earlier about the comprehensive plan. We've got this larger blueprint to guide how the county is going to grow and develop into the future. The zoning ordinance is where it actually happens. The zoning ordinance lays out what can actually be built where, at what heights, all the stuff that ends up showing up in your communities. And we have the opportunity to update it so that it can actually better implement our comprehensive plan that was last updated by the board in December of 2022. We have some standards in the zoning ordinance that is still sort of old style development and not the type of development that we want to have in a county. And so when we do these updates, it's going to make it easier to have mixed-use places that offer lots of different opportunities to be able to expand the types of housing that could be built in a county. Because actually, there's a lot of other types of housing that is actually not so easy to build in a county that we want to have. We need to update the zoning ordinance for that. There are other priorities like more sustainable housing, more green development. That's something else we could do through this project. And so definitely stay tuned. We're going to be launching our community engagement for that project, and we definitely would like community members to be involved because what you see in your communities is a reflection of those standards in the zoning ordinance. And for us to get better development, to get better communities, to be able to support living well, we need to make sure that that tool is up to date. I already talked about our smart area plans, and we definitely want community members to be involved in that. But I actually wanted to sort of borrow Kevin's idea, mention one other project briefly, and this is one that actually our economic development department is leading with the planning office and other departments, which is a future public-private partnership for the Landing Town Center. That is going to be a tremendous opportunity to leverage county-owned land to create an amazing new amenity, mixed use. We're still in the very early stages of coming up with a vision, and there's going to be a whole entire process that the county is going to go through. But if you're familiar with places like the Mosaic District in Fairfax County or the Wharf in DC, we're talking about that. And we want something like that for Prince William County. So I am super excited about that because that will be a tremendous addition to this county and will help to attract more businesses, more residents, more tax revenue, more visitors, all the things that we want. ADUs, all the things that we want. So this is a really great opportunity, and so I just wanted to give a shout out for that too.
All right, Seth.
Too many to count, Chair Jefferson. Thanks to you and the board and all your support for Parks Recreation. We're still churning through our 2019 bond projects. We're talking about another bond perhaps, unprecedented amount of deferred maintenance money to take care of existing assets, which is something most agencies can't claim. So I'll just name three off the top of my head. Two of them related to trails. We are going to be bringing to the board a trails master plan here in a few months.
Charlie Grimes, are you still up?
That's been something we've been needing to do for a long time. We've had a lot of participation from our trails advocates. I want to thank my staff and all their hard work for leading that process, saving taxpayers some money there. And also, we are going to be hopefully cutting the ribbon on the new section of the Potomac Heritage National Scenic Trail through the Featherstone Wildlife Refuge this spring. Thank you. It's a 1-mile segment that'll connect Ripon VRE Station down to the doorstep of Veterans Park. And so that'll provide an uninterrupted connection from the Absco Boardwalk really all the way to the Occoquan Wildlife Refuge in Belmont Bay, up to near the edge of town of Occoquan. So it's a huge segment. It's taken years, a decade or so to plan and execute. And then lastly, I'm very excited to bring you and the board a draft public art policy. Yes. This is a directive that was issued, and we've been hard at work doing some behind-the-scenes focus group work, and next month we're going to have 2 community-wide engagement opportunities for you and the public to come out and tell us what you think about public art and what you think needs to be in a policy. We'll bring that to you and the board sometime after budget season, and hopefully we can implement that. That's a great opportunity to adorn our small area plans and our tourism sites and our housing projects with our culture and some sort of conversation pieces that will draw some buzz and attention to the county.
All right, and this is our lightning round. How can residents stay involved and informed? Tough question.
So the number one reason for people to travel is to visit friends and family. So as the tourism guy, invite your friends and family to come visit and have them, be engaged by telling your friends and family to come visit you and stay in a hotel.
And eat at our restaurants.
And eat at our restaurants and shop at our stores. And
all
spend
right.
all their money.
Through our website, we do many community events. We do all of the ones that the police chief was talking about, we do here in the county. We're working on our website so that we have all of the available committed units, which we call them committed. They were proffered units, so that we'll have a list of those available for the residents, as well as our affordable dwelling units as they come available. So through our website, through our community outreach, and you can call us.
For the planning office, I definitely encourage you to go to our website, but also want to highlight PwC Works, which is a really great platform that the county has created that has information about multiple projects by multiple county departments. There are several planning office projects listed there. We have a small area plans hub for those 3 small area plans I mentioned earlier. We have a page for the zoning ordinance update. There's another project that I didn't mention earlier, a sustainability and resilience comprehensive plan amendment, which, by the way, we have a community meeting this week. If you'd like to come to that. So that's another resource that has a lot of information. And on both places, you can sign up for updates for those projects.
What Chief Newsham said, our Facebook page, I wish we had 150,000 followers, but we're inching up there. We have a lot. That truly is the way to find out all the things that are going on. And summer camp registration opens tomorrow at 8 a.m. And if you're not online at 8 a.m., can't help you.
That is real. So that is real. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone on this panel. It's been a pleasure.
We are going to be closing up shortly, but before we do, I wanted to invite, I hope you guys aren't hiding because you guys did that to me last year, but our county communications department, because they really do a heavy lift to make this. So Nikki and your team, if you guys can come down. They're getting people unmiked, but we'll give them a moment. All right, if you guys can come to the stage. And also, members of my staff, if you are, I know you guys are kind of floating around, but if you guys can come here too. These are the people who also really help make this run and who make, thank you, Chief Newsham. All right. So we have Zach Marcus, my Chief of Staff, Allison Greenday, my Deputy Chief, Lynette Bradley, my assistant, and then I think Marcelo, Community Engagement Manager. All right, let's go. But mostly, I want to thank everyone who has come here tonight. I always say this, whenever I have a town hall, I like to thank people who come because there are so many other things that you could be doing with your time. But you're here and you're here because you care about the community, and that's what we need. In order for us to grow, in order for us to reimagine ourselves, we need people who are committed to that process and people who are engaged and involved. So I want to take time to thank each of you. I also want to say to people, as I started this is the first of a series of conversations. I want to hear from people. I want to make sure you're engaged. Right now, we're in budget season. So we are going to be doing town halls. We are going to be doing listening sessions. Please come out, show up. We want to hear from you. We are also going to be launching a survey soon. And after that, there's going to be more opportunities for you to engage. So please make sure that you follow us on Facebook. We have a website. Follow the county as well. It is very important that all of our voices be heard. So thank you very much, everyone who's come out tonight. Hats off to each of you. This concludes our program. I don't know if any food is left, but make sure it is gone. And my team and I, we will stick around to make sure that we can talk to you and answer any questions. Thank you.